What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fi, Eric Sheets-Haber. We're going to be talking through this NBA 6-game slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. Still going through some of my things. Mostly not going to tweak, mess with the projections quite as much today, as Sheets was pointing out to me earlier. I think he's right too. I think that taking a few larger stances rather than well, that's not exactly what you said, but I think for me, taking a few larger stands rather than going for 55 small ones is probably a better answer.
I'm sort of catching up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just running projections now. One thing I'm noticing is Jokic is upgraded to questionable?
That's the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is sort of putting a freeze on everything in that Denver spot for me. I can't figure out exactly what to do with it. My guess is that he probably plays, but if he somehow doesn't and Gordon somehow doesn't, and Michael Porter Jr., who's now questionable, doesn't, like, God, we could be missing a gold mine. So one thing you could do is, and again, I don't think you have to do this, but Tatum is also now questionable after we thought he was going to be out. So it's another tough one. I guess it's not as easy to do what I was going to say to do, which it would be loading up on the Boston Phoenix game, but I don't think that that's going to work either. And I was going to say worst case, then you end up with Jokic, but it's tricky.
Yeah, that's a tough game to load up on, right? I mean,
well, I think that if Tatum was out, I think it was loadable. But I still love Durant and Booker, but I don't know. That's not going to give you what you need, in terms of late swapping with that Denver game if a bunch of guys are out, But my guess is, I mean, these teams need to win games, so I think that's what we're seeing with Denver. I think that and Tatum just needs to play his minimum game so he can make first team All NBA this year. That's really all I can imagine why he would play tonight, because they're 5 games out. They could make it, but they're 5 games out with 10 to go. Basically, there's no way that's happening, and there's no way anybody can catch them. So Boston is pretty settled into their seeding, whereas Denver could end up anywhere from 2 to 7 or 8 even. So they kind of need to win games. So I'm guessing that if they announce Jokic as an upgrade, I think he's probably going to play.
Yeah.
And we don't have any starting lineups out yet because the Magic aren't playing today. Otherwise, we would.
That's pretty funny.
But it's going to be hard to avoid this first game. I'm kind of curious to see what you're getting in terms of, like, I'm guessing you're going to be getting all kinds of the Washington. Right now, Saberson really wants to load me up on Jordan Poole, which I feel a little nervous about it for some of the reasons I stated earlier about just trying to lose. But they can afford to win a game. I just would rather be at home. But, like, they're giving me all the Jordan Poole, and I'm not all that excited about it, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna run my projections now and see. So what happened with the Milwaukee?
That's because Milwaukee is still. I mean, I think you're going to have Kevin Porter and Rollins and Kuzma. I'm getting a bunch of all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I think it's also that is a later. Obviously the later helps, but really it's weird because it's only it's 90 minutes after the last previous lock. So
how do those nets look for you now?
They never. So I don't like the plays, as I mentioned earlier. I think that the SaberSim's a little high on the projection on D'Angelo Russell, and I think they're high on the projection of Trendon Watford a little bit. But I could talk myself more into Watford than I can into. And I think Zaire would be the answer for me, is my favorite of those bunch. But I'm trying not to get overly invested in there. Another team that's trying to lose games. So, it's interesting. Kobe's saying I didn't realize Tatum had already played 66. I thought he was at 64. It would be funny if he plays. How dramatic it was when the injury happened. Yeah, it would be really weird if he plays. But they upgraded him to questionable. So not really. I mean, he's not going to win the MVP this year. So he's got really nothing left to go for, in my opinion. I think you just sit him.
Who's going to win the MVP this year?
Shea.
He deserves it.
With the bullet, because Jokic got hurt for too long. It's the truth.
Yeah, but as you would say, the Jacob deGrom theory, I mean, you got to play, otherwise no excuse.
Yeah. But Jokic just played a bunch of games. He would normally qualify, like a normal year for 6 years ago, he'd be winning this in a walk. There's just nobody does what he does. But Shea, I think there's voter fatigue and all that. I think it's pretty much a lock for Shea right now. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna rebuild in a minute. But as of right now, yeah, I've got a huge amount of exposure to the Milwaukee game. I've got a lot in the Philadelphia Washington game, and then I did bump the two big bumps that I made up were Durant and Booker, and I think both of them are in a good spot to have a ceiling type of performance tonight. So that's that. Those are the two that I'm taking my biggest stand on. The other ones that I upped were LeBron and Luka just slightly, and I bumped Halliburton just slightly, which actually it's pretty similar to my projections for Halliburton and all those guys I just mentioned were that LA Indiana game were pretty similar to Goldie's. So those are the main changes I made.
Well, I just did some projections, and I'll take a quick look at them, and then I'm gonna just build this thing. I'm playing both DraftKings and FanDuel. Let's see. So I don't know what the legit questionables are really, but like right now, I get it's just point per dollar. My best point per dollar play is going to be the Vucevic.
Yep.
And then Porter. Oh, okay. So and then still the same guy. Then Trent Wofford getting again this Jalen Martin like an 18-point projection to 3K, and then the Colby Jones about 6 minutes.
Yeah, Jalen Martin. Yeah, sure. It's the problem with Washington is that because there's guys missing that they all look pretty good, but it's like it's going to even out. And once we get an actual starting lineup, and I'm guessing we know it's going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be Champagny. But if it's anything else, then it could be Colby Jones. They've started him before. I'm a little suspect on all these other guys. Jalen Martin, it wouldn't surprise me if he played 28 minutes. It wouldn't surprise me if he played 2 minutes.
I have him. I think at 21.
I think that he could literally play 2.
Yeah, 2's not a lot.
Yeah, but I think he could. I mean, he played. That's just the range of outcomes you deal with the Washington stuff, and it is the first game, so it's what I would consider doing is, because it's the first game, maybe I would lower the ones I feel like are a little bit more speculative, like the Jalen Martin, because you really don't need. I mean, I guess you could use a 3K guy, but it's just so speculative. Like we're not really. The industry might have him around 17 or 18. I don't think that's any sort of guarantee. I mean, Goldie's last run, I think he has him projected at 9. So,
right. I don't know.
Oh, he just updated it. So now he's got him at 16, which I think is, seems fairly reasonable. Again, with the speculative value, I would just rather it be the later games, just in case we get some late news, because we seem to every day, especially this time of year. But Jalen Martin is one guy I did bump down from the SaberSim projection for what it's worth. And Jordan Poole's projection is Goldie's lowered it a pretty hefty. Goldie's got it at 28, which is interesting because so I'm sort of suspect that, I mean, they played him. Remember, he was playing in a tight game. He was lights out, and he played 21 minutes because he was too good.
That's very strange.
It's been happening everywhere, though, Sheets. Like Scotty Barnes in the same game. Scotty Barnes had 48.5 after the end of 3 in a tight game, and they just didn't play him in the 4th. So
what if you had to get? I mean, you don't have to guess, right? But just for funsies, are you assuming for now that Jokic is in?
I'm just going to pretend that he is for at the moment. I don't know what else to do with the upgrade.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it would be a strange upgrade, I think.
Yeah, totally agree.
Play.
Totally agree. What else do I have here? Let's see. Jordan Poole just feels like I didn't want to get. Now I've got him down to 12% of ownership. Okay, I got him at 12. I don't have the 75 that they were giving me before, because that just felt like a little bit ridiculous.
So I think the interesting dilemma again is what you should save for these late games. Now, Milwaukee, do we care about starters and stuff like that for Milwaukee?
Yeah.
So, but we do have good value in Washington I mean, depending on what you think.
Yeah, good speculative value.
Yeah. As far as spend ups go, you like let's say Jokic is playing. You like Jokic over Luka / LeBron?
No.
Okay.
I know the prices are a little bit different with LeBron, but I do like Jokic a lot. Don't get me wrong, but then that's a game that you could, Milwaukee can say, okay, we're going to lose this game by 20 with the lineup they're putting out there.
I know the guy I was going to ask you about. So a guy that I kind of like haphazardly said, I don't feel like playing him tonight. I know I'm going to probably end up getting a decent amount of him. What do you think of Gary Trent?
I just don't. Again, he could have a game, but like I would rather be like, a little below the field at a high ownership. He's just shooting reliant. Like, and honestly, his chances of getting open looks are probably lower without either Lillard or Giannis. We've seen this before where Gary Trent will put up like 40, 35 fantasy points, whatever, with the team fully healthy, and then everybody's out and Gary Trent puts up like 12 fantasy points, So I think the projection of him around 25 is probably reasonable, but because it's later, you'll have some switchability anyway. So I'm not going to like bump him or anything crazy. I just would rather not, focus in on that play personally.
Let me see this. Harden is questionable.
Harden's in.
He's in. Okay. I mean, he'll come, if he wants to be at the strip comes later, he'll play.
Right.
LeBron is whatever. Yeah, I don't have. And Tatum he was an upgrade to questionable. I'm presuming he's going. What kind of wash? So right now, after running, just again, my process, I just literally uploaded my projections, ran 5,000, ran the Sims with normal stock things, fields. I'm getting, not surprisingly, and this is, listen, the Vucevic chalk, I don't mind too much for some reason. The Watford chalk's annoying me a little bit. The Trent chalk is really annoying me, but you know what? I can always change that. That's a later game. I could go to some other bit of nonsense if I choose to. But I do think that I'm going to end up with a lot of Kuzma.
Well, the interesting thing about the Watford thing is you also have Noah Clowney, who's 600 cheaper, and actually their projection, I mean, their projection is 20 versus 27, but he's also cheaper. Could you make an argument maybe for just like doing what won all the money last night which was not playing Schroeder and playing Sasser? Could you maybe make a similar case for Clowney versus Watford from a basketball standpoint? I think that's a pretty reasonable take. So that's something I'm considering.
Or you could do one of each.
Yeah, exactly. But like I think that, and I'm playing 2 big buy-ins. I actually was thinking about that earlier. That I think that Watford is probably going to be okay with no what's his name, no Day'Ron Sharp and no Cam Johnson. But I think Clowney has a chance to get in there almost as much, to be honest.
That would be quite fitting. I mean, remember all those times that like Clowney was like chalk and didn't do anything.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. But the and for what it's worth, I didn't do anything to Vucevic. Oh no, now I'm getting more of him a little bit. But I'm not getting the other value pieces. I'm still getting a higher percentage of. I don't like. And you got, by the way, your projection on Jordan Poole sort of tends to agree with me. SaberSim has Jordan Poole playing 25. Okay, they did lower it. They had him more minutes earlier. But I think that this is just very strange to try to project what Washington's going to do. And when I think it's the variance is that high, why wouldn't we just play the lower owned guys like Bub Carrington, who's a young guy who they'll probably play. He's probably going to play more minutes than Poole is, and he's cheaper. Yeah, he's projected to play 30 minutes. He's got the highest projected minutes on Washington. So that's sort of the stuff I'm thinking about here. Danny Pettiford is asking a question, and I just want to point out that. So, okay, he's saying he was going to play Jordan and Lopez, but since Jokic might play, would you play Jordan in a single entry? If you play DeAndre Jordan with Jokic in, you should never play DFS again.
I thought you were going to say you could end up like winning all the money.
You have zero. He's 5K too. It's not like you're talking about.
Okay.
He's 5K. If you play him with Jokic in, where he legitimately may not play a single minute, I think that would be one of the worst plays I'd ever seen. If you want to speculate that Jokic is out,
I've made some pretty bad plays. I don't know.
I don't know if there's any worse than that one. A guy who's going to play 2 minutes and who's 5K.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
He's
He's got a pretty good point per minute to.
Yeah, he's putting up 20 fantasy points per minute though. Like the old Kevin Love one, Cheats. Remember that one night you said it sort of offhandedly? It was a 250K night, and somebody actually played him. He played 11 minutes, and he put up 37 fantasy points. And I'm like, okay, great. He made 8 or 7 threes or whatever it was in 11 minutes. I was like, but also, why didn't they play him more? You're telling me he can't play more than 11 minutes?
You know what you get, by the way, if you were not careful? I mean, not that if you're not careful, maybe you want it. On FanDuel, I'm getting an inordinate amount of lineups with LeBron and Luka together.
I think it's actually the kind of matchup and off the losing streak where that's okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't be opposed to it on, especially, and it's a 6-gamer. It's not like a
it's
gamer
not
where
like
you
a
need
12
a
game
massive ceiling. Last night for a big slate late in the season was one of the lowest scoring big slates like ever. It was terrible.
Yeah, my score didn't help that. That's for sure.
Neither did mine at all. When you lock in Schroeder, I mean, look, he still was on many winning lineups and many things, so it's not like you couldn't win with them. But obviously, I could have gotten creative and gone to Sasser or Holland. And
I wonder if I got last in that. Hold on, I want to see this. I think it's possible. I'm gonna pull that lineup up. Just again, listen, we talk about about screenshots and stuff. I'm gonna keep it real here. Let's see if I can't find like the worst lineup I have. NBA. Wait, what was it called yesterday? Millionaire Maker.
Millionaire. Yeah.
A millionaire final. Oh no! There are plenty of people that beat me. I was in 555th. I had 3 flames. Oh, there's one. No, excuse me, 3 snowflakes. I had 1 flame. There you go, Scottie Pippen Jr. No one else had him, so that's good.
Yeah. The low owned, highest owned play of the slate. No, I'm just kidding.
So Jimmy Butler, 23.5 fantasy points at 8,700 is not very strong.
No.
Nor is Jaren Jackson Jr. 30.75 fantasy points.
That was one of my good plays. Is I decided to play Mobley instead of him in my things, but
yeah,
still wasn't enough.
Dude, I thought this. I cannot believe this didn't work out. Like when they announced Cade out, I thought that Beasley would be like 20% owned.
And no, yeah, he was hardly owned. I liked him.
He was 6% owned, and he played like it.
Well, he played great actually at first, and then they got up by they were up by like 30 points, and they just played the bench guys.
Yeah, he was like my best performer with the 3x, I think, or 4x.
Yeah, and people are asking who won the million. I'm sure
It was what's his name? It was Papa Gates.
That's what I figured, but I can't remember. I want to make sure just how many lineups exactly, because if the numbers I saw were right, could you really play 33 lineups last night? No, you
sure could.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
Because the second place was 100,000. Like
no, second place was 250.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, 125. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. 125, then 75. Because it was only a $2 million prize pool.
Meanwhile, one other thing that happened at the live final, and this is unfortunate, but you did. I'm not saying that you require that the people come to be there in person, but it certainly would help the experience. You know. Mm-hmm. So apparently, the person who won is one of the 2 that's kind of like accused of working together with somebody else, and it was Mazwa who won, and Raging Phillip was in it too, and apparently I couldn't say, but that's what people are saying, that those 2 kind of work together, and neither of them were there. And when at the end of the day when Mazwa won, I didn't stay till the end actually. We got really bored and left with like half a game left. But apparently when they announced the winner, like the whole crowd booed.
That's pretty funny. I like that at least. That's pretty funny.
It would be like, you know, if when JJ Prodigy like won something live or something like that, you know.
Right.
Or something, and he wasn't there to collect, or who knows. I don't know how that would be.
That's pretty funny.
But
Don't you have to have someone there or a proxy or something?
no, you don't have to have anybody there for the live finals.
Nothing anymore, huh?
I didn't. Well, remember, I got third in the UFC thing when I couldn't go last year.
Oh, right. But I thought like maybe you had like a friend there or something like that.
No, but you know what? I wish I had known because if I didn't realize that you get a +1 at all these things, and the +1 gets to be in the hotel and gets to like go to all the stuff. So I could have actually sent like 2 people to the Florida thing, to the UFC thing I missed.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know, But that was like a lot of the people there that I knew, like Tyler was there. Tambo, he was a +1. He was Rio's +1. And then who else was there? I don't remember. DFS online. He was there as somebody. I got to meet him. So there were a bunch of +1s. I ran into Aaron Massey, by the way.
Why does the name sound so familiar? Oh, from poker.
Yeah, he was there. I hadn't seen him in years. He was there just to be with some dude. I'll tell you who I did meet, who was pretty, I wouldn't say cool, but like kind of a real nice guy, and his wife was really nice too. BK Ryder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had never met him, and he's a really nice guy, and the wife is telling. And when I listen, this is my whole evening in that welcome thing. I just kept introducing to Stacy to everybody as like this is like one of the best players in the world or whatever. And it was funny because we were at a reception. The reception was like a cocktail party, and like half the people like an hour through like disappeared into their hotel room because they had the late swap for stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and BK Rich stand up from the table. Well, I got to go late swap, and she then the wife said to me, I just want to tell you that he didn't act like that, but you made him so happy saying that because he works so hard. And that made me feel good, you know what I mean? Like, he works so hard, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? He deserves it. He works hard and he makes money. I've been doing it a long time,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was one of the live finals things with Maslow and everybody. Apparently, I wasn't there, but that's what
I didn't figure you'd stuck around after the Anthony Edwards the floor game.
But it wasn't even that, you know what I mean? Like honestly, like if they made it worth staying for, like if they turned it into like, ooh, look who's in second, look who's in third, who needs this, who needs that, I would have stuck around for the sweat. You know me, I love sweating, even if I don't have any action.
Absolutely.
But they didn't make it like that. People were just kind of keeping themselves, watching. Like every once in a while, like someone like a basket, hear like very random clapping from somewhere, But it was, I don't know. There was nobody from DraftKings like making a big deal of it, So I don't know. Wouldn't have been the way I would have created it. This guy Vertical DFS, he was there. I didn't. But there were a bunch of young kids, but most of the kids are more than most of the guys are more like your age. But there were a couple of real young kids there, like the BP Cologne. He was there. He's like 5 years old. Okay.
But how though? He feels like he's been around forever.
No, he's just 22. He just
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's only 22. He went to Wisconsin, and yeah, you think he's been around, but he really hasn't. He's only been around like a year or two.
Wow, I really thought that he had been around for a long time.
No.
It happened like when you win all the tournaments, you just.
That's right. You think that, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
and then there's the Vertical DFS. He was like 9 years old. There were a couple of 9-year-olds, but most of them were like more like your age, like around your age. You and Tambo, guys like that, and there's Rio. He that's Hebrew Cheeto, by the way. He's a good enough guy. I think he's probably lower 30s, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of people, a lot of guys that age and stuff. I was definitely the oldest by like a long shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the next guy that was closest was I believe it was JBC, but he's actually much younger than me. He just whatever. I thought he was older. Let's put it that way. And then I met the reason why I wasn't the oldest one there was that Nerdy Tenor brought his father, which was freaking pretty badass.
Oh, that's cool.
Father must have been like 100 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he brought him. Not 100. He's probably like 70 or whatever. But so he brought him, which is kind of cool. He brought his wife and his father, which was kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
All right. So there's no changes in any of this, right?
Not yet. No, LeBron's available officially. That's the only thing that's come through since we've been on. I'm looking over at FanDuel. I'm just going to go ahead and just repeat what I keep saying about Jared Butler. And Goldie and you both have him
Does it
lower.
for me. He just
What?
sucks.
I really don't think he's very good, but on top of it, like, I mean, he's young, we'll see, whatever, but like, I just think his projections have been off every single day on him. I don't know why I'm going to do anything different. SaberSim has him higher than most everywhere else, including Goldie in your projections, and I'm going more with your guys's on those plays. That's just me, but
I guess I'll put some stuff up on Stake Kings. It's been a while. Hopefully people haven't spent all their money yet. From when I won them all their money over that couple week stretch. It's like,
yeah. Well, okay, just so here's what happened. So the Wizards just announced their starting lineup. So Colby Jones is starting, which again is going to make him top a lot, which is fine. Champagne is starting, but they are not starting Vukcevic. So if Vucevic's projection drops, I would still play him.
Yeah, but not as much, right? I mean,
well, this is what keeps happening with him though. He started, and he had a decent, he had a great game. Then he had like kind of a down game, and then the next game he came off the bench and he put up like 39, and then they went back to the bench. And there's variance in how much he'll play for sure, but I would. It's a play that you could probably take a little gamble on if you were willing to.
I got to think about that. I definitely need to think about that one.
But yeah, so that to him not start. I mean, that's it. Also, like, probably good for Sarr as well. But these minutes, I'm just telling you that it's JT Thor time. You know what I mean? Like, they start playing just these random guys who never get to play in the NBA except for this time of year. And
whoa! Meanwhile, wait a minute. You did golf today?
Yeah.
Who do you like? I pre-entered dummy lineups. I need to look to my projections.
I'll pull up my little article here.
I gotta watch it. But how long did you do a video?
Me and Kenny did, yeah.
I gotta check that out.
So I did like my highest owned players on DraftKings are Minwoo Lee and Scotty Scheffler. No shocker. Then Alex Smalley, Thomas Dietrich, Joe Highsmith, Rory Finau, Michael Kim, Wyndham Clark. Those are the sort of the main ones for me.
Damn, what the hell is with
I do have one guy who's literally got a 0.01 projection in ownership on multiple sites, and I've got like 5% of them.
Why am I not being able to log into this one place here? Let's see.
I'm gonna post my current exposure in the channel just so I can keep up to date with this. You know, it's getting tough with these non-major events though, because even in the big one, when Jason Day withdrew, he was still 12% owned. You know, I just have these horrifying feelings. So I have to wake up at like 5 a.m. just to double check, and once I'm up, I'm usually up. So it's not so much fun.
Have there been? Oh, the Jason Day had the drop out a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, but he still ended up 12% owned because nobody was awake.
Yeah, I think I had him.
I
guess I'll do it.
I am curious where they're going to drop Vukcevic.
I think they'll drop him pretty hard.
I think you're probably right.
So who's starting instead of him?
Instead of him, so they're starting Colby Jones. Oh, a bunch of updates coming in from the site here. I'm gonna have to rebuild, and then so they've got him.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who'd you say?
Colby Jones.
Okay.
So he's gonna pop more, and yeah, I'm not. I just think this is really shady. This Washington situation and scary. All right, let's see. What do we like? Yeah.
So 1, 2, 5, 7, 8.
He is not starting. All right, guys. Any questions or thoughts? I'm curious if anybody wants to drop any in there. I saw that Danny said that next time, if DeAndre Jordan smashes, are you saying tonight if DeAndre Jordan smashes? He's not going to smash tonight. He'll probably smash if Jokic is out. If Jokic isn't, he's probably going to do nothing. Do we have a referral code for? Oh yeah, absolutely. TrueDFS is the referral code. Jimmy.
Cryptic.
I actually think that, let me see if I can grab it. Maybe I can even paste it in here. Yeah, jump on there. Let's see what we got here. Where's my TrueDFS? And I'm just going to go Stake Kings. Yeah, promo code is TrueDFS. And this is just a regular link. I don't know if this will work, but we'll see.
So with respect to tomorrow's opening day,
yeah,
Bobby, when are you going on?
I'll go on at 2 Eastern because the FanDuel slate actually starts at 3 Eastern.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, so it's 4 Eastern for DraftKings and 3 Eastern for FanDuel.
Okay.
And FanDuel also includes the later game, I believe, too. I'm not sure about that. Let me double check that actually.
Yeah, so I have a thing, and I think I'm not going to be back until I'm guessing like 3. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do much for tomorrow. And then I'm leaving before I'm leaving for New Jersey.
Who's playing in the games you're going to?
So Duke against Arizona, and BYU against Alabama.
Those are good games.
Yeah, and I for those of you that did, interested in this, I did a Survivor update video with Brave Jayhawk today, and that is quite the mind F, but to say the least. So feel free to enjoy that if you want.
Very few upsets.
Yeah, but enough it's still going to be hard to get through It's kind of a very unique puzzle. And here's another kind of really minor announcement is that Bobby and I are going to do a baseball Survivor video on Monday.
Yeah.
We're going to be entering a contest, and we've done really horribly the last 2 years.
Hopefully we can make it longer than 2 weeks this time.
Hopefully that's it. So, but that's exactly what I said to the guy who ran it when I paid him. I'm like, hopefully that makes it to week 3 this year.
Man, it's tough, man. That baseball stuff.
It's very hard. It's very, very hard. Which goes to show, you may as well just try to take
the
other teams. No, the opposite. That's
what we tried.
No, I don't think so. I think we went chalk last year. We lost.
No, we played St. Louis, who was playing Colorado, who was projected to be the worst team in the National League, and they were the second worst team in the National League.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we took somebody the week they were playing the A's, and the A's swept them, I think. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The A's, all their righties. I wonder what the A's are going to be like this year.
They're going to be good. That's my prediction.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to be a team we play a lot in DFS because they're going to at least an average hitter's park from a horrible hitter's park. And I think they've got actually some real talent in their lineup.
Boy, I mean, we never had time to do it, like a baseball preview video. It's just this.
I was gonna do one, and I'll probably do it just a little bit late because I was gonna we were gonna do one the day before the first Tokyo games, but that didn't end up happening. By the way, did you see this? So I had a few friends who went to the games. My family, my aunt and cousin and her boyfriend, her fiance went out there, but they got tickets last year. Okay. People were scalping. The cheapest you could find up to 2 days before the game, up to the game time, was for the absolute worst seat in the park, $3,500, and as much as $35,000 a seat.
Where, in Japan?
Yeah, for the opening day. It was more than the Super Bowl.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. It's wild, and people are
then you'll see Ohtani ruled out for injury management.
Right. Of course, Ohtani hits a home run, though. You know what I mean? It's just it's nothing.
Right. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, it was ordered by the government.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know. You don't throw that guy.
If he didn't have a home run, that pitcher's going to be tapped on the shoulder. Listen, dude. You got to serve one up here, homeboy. That's like.
Yeah, this Dodger team. I think they're the biggest favorite in history of baseball right now. They're
who the Dodgers?
Yeah. And that's with Mookie he's got some serious thing going on. He's he might be really in bad shape. Well, they're not dropping. We're waiting on. I'm telling you, they're going to drop Vucevic's. They didn't drop it much, you know. They dropped it like a tiny bit to 28. They dropped him.
Really?
And that's not all that crazy because he's had some of these games where he's off the bench. But it seems like it should be a little bit lower than that. Colby Jones got the hike already, but we didn't get the. That's interesting. Jalen Martin, I'm below. Let's see, we'll make him 17. He could get there. I mean, I feel like you're just playing roulette with these guys. That's the way I'm looking at this. Ooh, yeah. The projections keep dropping on Jordan Poole. I don't know. I'm not seeing any chatter, but I'm looking because these projections have dropped consistently. Anthony Gill's in. Sixers will start Downton and Grimes. So we don't. So Edwards. Okay, he is. No, wait, that's wrong. So on Philly, Jared Butler is not starting. Wait, is that right? Yeah, no starting Jared Butler. Okay. So we don't have to worry as much now. The question is going to be about Doughton. So these starting lineups actually ended up mattering quite a bit here. The one who we should bump up though is Saberson did the job for us. They bumped up Quentin Grimes to a reasonable number because I'm just tired of seeing nobody play this guy. Like some people finally caught on to it. I really wanted him to be on the millionaire slate though, because I was like, okay, I know that if I play 3 lineups, I'll play him in 2. If I know if I play 1, he'll be in there. But it wasn't to be. So watch him put up 60 tonight.
So what do we have now for? What are you saying for Vucevic?
They didn't drop him as much as you think, but I would wait for the last update for the
28. Is that right?
What's that?
What do they have at 28?
Yeah, they only dropped him like a couple points. I think it should be a little bit lower. But I think the main thing you're waiting on is the Jared Butler is going to turn into a chalky, well, not chalky, but a better play is the Jeff Doughton thing. And Doughton has been very good. They bumped his price up a little bit, but he's been very good. All right, we're getting another update. My guess is this is when we start to see the Jeff Doughton just got a big bump, and Jared Butler got a little. That's not as little as it should be. I think it should be more than that. The bump down.
Butler, what do you think? I have him at 20, maybe 27.
They bumped Vucevic down to 24, which makes sense. Butler should probably be around 25 or 26. Yeah, maybe somewhere in that range.
And what did you say, Doughton?
Doughton should look like he's probably around
28, maybe
around 28 to 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. Seems about right. I'm going to give it another minute before I refresh, but I did, for any site member, I did post just my my exposures of where I'm at.
What do you think Butler should be fairly? Like 27, you think?
Maybe less.
Yeah, so he's not going to be playable, I don't think. I'm
not playing him. Say that. Maybe on FanDuel. He's a little cheaper over there.
Yeah, this Vucevic, they're not really dropping him.
I think you're going to see this Butler number drop a lot. Let's see. I've got him. They've still got him at. No, wait, hold on. Let me just double check. Where do they have him? Yeah, they've got him. They dropped to 27. That's still too high. Watford, and I like that Clowney idea I had a little bit, but not a huge amount, just a little tiny bit, a little splash.
Little kibitz.
Yeah.
All right. Tristan. Yeah, this other place has him at 24. I think that's a little more reasonable.
I think 24 is more reasonable.
Yeah. And the Butler 27-ish, I think is who won't be. I don't think we're playing him.
Yeah.
You'd say Doughton.
Yeah.
27. Does that sound right?
Yeah. I think you could argue a tiny bit higher, but yeah. Do you see Jim Nance? I thought it was pretty ambitious for a guy who's 70-something years old to retire 11 years from now.
Wait, what happened?
Jim Nance announced his retirement will be after the 2036 Masters.
Oh, very nice.
I thought that was very ambitious.
Yeah, it's very.
I would feel nervous doing something like that. Feels like bad juju.
It's almost kind of a troll. I mean, like.
Yeah, like, and it'll be the 100th Masters. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's like LeBron. I'll quit playing when my great grandchildren are playing on my team.
Yeah, when Bronny finally gets a start.
He's gotten going, man.
He's in the G League, right?
Yeah, but he scored 39 in the G League game the other night, and which doesn't mean that much. But he did have 17 in an NBA game, which again they got killed, but he played pretty well.
So what are we waiting on as far as news goes now?
Nothing from the early games.
But
Jokic, Tatum,
right.
Starting lineup for Milwaukee. Although you probably want to play Kevin Porter whether he starts or not.
Well, who would start instead of him?
I actually think he probably won't start.
Okay.
They'll start Rollins and probably AJ Green, but he might start him. Either way, I don't think it's going to change the minutes all that much in the production. The guy's a usage monster. Like, yeah. So Doughton now is the best projected play on FanDuel as well. Okay, so I'm going to rebuild. Did
they adjust Vucevic yet or no?
So on FanDuel, they've got Vucevic at. They dropped him a little bit more, but they've got him at 26.8 on. It seems a little high. I actually liked the idea of getting creative with him, and I think they're a little ambitious here, but I kind of like it. There's definitely a ceiling for him in this matchup. Like off the bench, we've seen him get in the 30s plenty of times, but I think the median should certainly be a little bit lower than it probably is. I don't think much though, like maybe a couple points. Okay, they dropped it again. 26 now. That makes it feel a little bit better. Just a couple points.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that seems fair.
I'll end up probably a little even lower than that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. And I'm going to make my bold statement that one of KD or Booker will not only score 40 real life points, that one of those two will be on the winning lineup tonight.
Well, I mean, I think one has everything to do with the other.
Well, how does that mean? How so?
No. What I mean is that if Booker scores 40 real life points, he's going to be on the winner, right?
Most likely. Well, I mean, it depends on how many people play him. Actually, yeah.
Yes. Who's playing them? Right.
And just I could see Booker having. I could see either one of them going off. Durant has looked incredible lately. It's the best he's played in probably a while. Much more. Wow, Jeff Doughton, getting all kinds of Jeff Doughton on FanDuel. Kevin Porter, I'd like to be getting a little bit more, but I think I can always do that with my late swaps. Save the contest.
Let's see
For what it's worth, on Vuk, I ended up with like 16% on FanDuel.
16% Vucevic on FanDuel?
That was where I ended up. Probably about with the field, I would imagine.
Right, I'm just finishing. Just finishing actually updated projections here. These actually aren't bad, but again, you have to have watch for that Milwaukee game, right? I mean,
yeah, just unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be around anyway. I mean, for that Milwaukee game. So,
what did I end up with for Butler? Did I end up with any?
Who? Oh,
get out of here with this Butler love. I do not understand this.
I have a question for you. What is your take again? I forget on. If I don't speak to you tomorrow on these starting pitchers, I mean, are they going to go or are they not going to go?
I just don't think anybody's throwing more than like 85 pitches at the most, and that maybe Skeens could throw more. I just think we've seen it every year, and I just don't think we need to do this again. So,
but what does that mean?
I mean, just like there's so of the I actually don't have my MLB sheet called up right now, but Skeens, we know that they might just want him to go 90 every start or something like that. So I actually think he's probably got the most ceiling, but they also not going to let him throw 110.
Right.
For the FanDuel games, like guys like maybe they let Peralta throw 90s. Zach Wheeler, Zach Wheeler needs to get his work in, but again, it's starting the year. It's a little nerve wracking.
Who do you think? You think Reagans is gonna kick ass this year? Like, who's gonna make that next leap?
Well, if he wasn't pitching in Boston, I guess we can't say Crochet because he was probably the best pitcher in baseball last year.
Yeah. Yeah, but well, people forgot maybe.
Yeah. Hey, Adam's pointing out a good one. Sonny Gray is one that you could consider.
Ooh, that's interesting.
He's got he could throw pitches. I mean, all of these guys, you look at them and you're like, oh yeah, these guys could all throw a million pitches, but like, I don't
mean pitches. I just mean like in general, like for the season. Like who do you think's going to step up and have that?
Oh, the huge breakout.
You think like Hunter Green will finally do it? I mean,
I think Mike King for San Diego.
Ooh, I like that. That's not bad. He was really good for like a long time last year, right?
As painful as it is for me to say that. And by the way, the Dodgers. How can you have the best starting rotation in the history of baseball, but our number one starter is Blake Snell? I understand that Blake Snell is a great pitcher, but it just doesn't feel like he should be the top starter for me.
Yeah, really.
It's yeah, I mean, they're just loaded with so many guys. I guess that they're running it like this. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I think that who else would they? Logan Gilbert won't throw the pitches, but he's so efficient. But he's a later game, so you actually won't even get to play that one. Why isn't there a better evening slate tomorrow? Because the games are kind of weird timing.
Is Acuna back playing this year?
He's back, but I'm not sure when he's back. He's not back to start the season.
You think Sale has another good year?
Yeah, I think he's still got enough in him. Who else?
Are the Dodgers? I mean, are they like less than 2-1 to win the World Series? I mean,
they're 2 points. I think they're plus 240 or 260, which is the best.
That sounds right.
Which is the best odds there's ever been, though. It's the lowest odds there's ever been.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to win the World Series. You know,
it's really hard. Like there's randomness in baseball, no matter what. There's injuries. There's a lot of things. Theoretically, they have the kind of team that you know.
Wait, who do they lose? Who do they lose, and who do they pick up?
I can't even go through the list. They got the best Japanese pitcher. They haven't really lost much of anything from their offense is going to be slower at first because Mookie's going to be out.
Who got Cody Bellinger? The Mets or the Yankees?
The Yankees.
Yankees.
I actually think he'll do well in Yankee Stadium, and I think he's getting a little bit overlooked as a. I love Bellinger, if not even.
I mean, he reminds me between his swing and all of it. It's like Paul O'Neill, like all over again over there.
And I think that my prediction for the World Series is Dodgers Rangers.
Well, we need what's his name to stay healthy.
I feel like the Rangers could go either way. They could win 70 games or they could win 110, and it wouldn't surprise me either way.
So what are they? Who do they have? They have
the A's are my sneaky team that I was mentioning before.
So they have Crochet. No, is Crochet on the Rangers?
No, Crochet is on Boston.
What? Oh, I thought you said Reagan's was on Boston. No, okay.
No, Reagan's used to be on. He was traded from the Rangers to KC before a couple years ago, but he's on KC.
Okay.
KC's an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my shot at them again. By the way,
I think they make sense because also their division is very winnable.
And they have probably with Acuna out, I think they definitely have the best fantasy player in baseball.
Well, I mean, I don't think Shohei's not going to steal 59 again. So maybe you're right about that. But what's crazy is that Shohei is I think he's plus 160 to win the MVP. And the guy was saying so basically you're betting plus 160 if he stays healthy because he's pitching and hitting. He's going to win the MVP. He's not going to become a terrible hitter all of a sudden. His downside is 250 and he hits 45 home runs. And then he's one of the best 50 pitchers in baseball. That's still impressive. Oh, great. We'll see about DeGrom. DeGrom, the most overrated player in the history of sports.
I think you're saying it the wrong way, but maybe you could be right.
So, but I'm telling you, you can't not play. If he was a basketball player, I mean, people don't talk about Kawhi. People are saying DeGrom was a better pitcher than Kershaw, for example. DeGrom has pitched 2 seasons. Kershaw's thrown 17, I don't think you got to pitch. You got to actually pitch. You can't make 10 starts a year.
That is true.
And people always would say, oh, look at these guys when they come in and play in the NBA, and they do it when they have a chance to do it for 10 games. When your body takes 82 games of beating, it's a lot different. Same thing with pitching, in my opinion. All right, one last sim, and then I'm going.
Is Shane Bieber ever going to pitch again?
I think so.
Okay.
But I would bet on the Dodgers in Texas. I would bet on I'm not going to get creative. Skeens to win the Cy Young, Ohtani to win the MVP in the National League. In the American League, I'll bet Seager to win the MVP, but he's got to stay healthy. And I would bet Cy Young on the American League. I honestly want to bet Crochet. That would be the one I would probably choose.
What kind? Maybe have a sneaky MVP. Maybe even not the sneaky Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could be talked into that one. And you see this, that there's both O'Neal Cruz and Tyler O'Neal Cruz is homered in his only 2 opening days, and Tyler O'Neill is homered in the last 5 opening days. That's the stupid narrative that means absolutely nothing.
That means absolutely nothing.
That everyone's going to follow, and somehow Tyler O'Neill is going to end up being chalked. Maybe.
Who's the guy with the that always had like the bad news following him?
Which one?
The guy who always had the big news story would break in the real world whenever he had like a home run or something.
Really?
The Nick Castellanos. You ever hear about this?
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. If you look up Nick Castellanos, like within he would hit a home run like just after 9/11 happened. He would hit a home run just after Bin Laden was killed. He would hit a home run. He would always hit a home run after or be the harbinger of some big news event. So you gotta look it up. It's
I'll take a look. I do have to mention this real quick. So AJ Johnson is now starting, not what's his name from Washington, not Colby Jones.
Oh, 9 minutes from now?
It just changed.
Oh my God.
This is what happens.
That's annoying. So what does that mean to the average man? I mean,
AJ Johnson is definitely in play. Colby Jones is still in play, but not in the same level that he was before.
Well, let me see what I want to do with this information. I'm just over it that I don't know if I want to do a whole new set of projections. But let me just see if anybody, if either of them I have a lot of. So let's see Jones. What's his name? Colby? K-O?
C-O-L-B.
So I'm hoping I don't have a lot of him, right? Oh shit. I got enough of him that I have to probably worry about it. I currently have.
He still could get there at his price. I don't think he's a bad play. Just FYI, and just my take is that he's not a bad play anyway. I don't think it's the ideal thing, but you get lower ownership on him now.
I did already have 7 AJ Johnson lineups,
and AJ Johnson is.
I think
the projections on him are about right.
I'm probably gonna have to be a good player and just redo these. Ugh, it's annoying. 5 minutes to go.
Oh, they just ran another update.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it works not getting the update. Somebody paid off big time. Was talking about that on another show that they just missed one of the updates, and because of it they ended up with 90% of a 2% owned guy.
What do you have right now for an update on AJ Johnson? Do you have an update on that one?
26.5.
26.5. And what do you have for Colby Jones now?
Colby Jones, it was 20. They still have him at a number that I wasn't sure was right. So the one that they've got him at is Colby Jones. They have at, where do they have him? Sorry, where did he go? Oh, I'm on the wrong team. That's why. Colby Jones, Saberson has him at 21. I think he should be 19 or 20.
And AJ Johnson, Saberson has him at 26?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to rebuild one more time here. No, I can't do the Jared Butler thing. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, what happened here?
Who's here?
That was you. You popped out, then you popped in again.
So I'll bump AJ Johnson up to 26, I guess.
Yeah, it seems about right. So I'm just going to go through some of my
people they're not going to be happy about this. Well, who knows? The Sabres is the Stakings people, because I ran out of time. I can't post.
Oh, that's all right. I like Grimes, to answer Jay's question. I think we play Grimes some every day.
You seeing Grimey.
And they raised his projection too, by the way. Saberson's way aggressive versus the industry on Grimes. And I think by tomorrow, Shita, hopefully we'll have an update for, or actually not by tomorrow, but I guess by the next day, I'll have an update for you on I think we've got the FanDuel stuff starting to figure out. So
No way.
Yep. I see Goldie's projections up there. I know he was working on
No
it.
way. The Goldies. LOL Goldymans.
Yeah. He got it. He knew baseball was coming and he had to get it. So he's got it. Wow. The Vucevic, I'm still getting a bunch of. Okay. I'm not hating it. I like the low ownership. All right. Save the contest. And then we'll run one more FanDuel. Yeah, I bumped up Porter. I'm just going to be heavier on that Milwaukee game, and everybody's going to be on it too, but I'll just be probably higher.
656.
FanDuel main. Not DK main. All right, that's the one. And then we go to FanDuel. And we rebuild one last time. Should we be aggressive on this first game? Yes. I mean, aggressive meaning what? Like versus the field? The field's going to be aggressive on it. I have a lot of exposure to it, but I am not buying the let's see.
You know what you do? If you're really salty, I'll post. How about this? I'll challenge the State Kings people to figure this out. I'm gonna post State King stuff with a 7:30 lock time.
Okay.
Let them try to find my lineups.
It's not going to matter. Yeah.
Let's see if they can figure out if they're good or not. I don't know. We'll see. So let's put these up. And we can hang on until like a couple minutes after lock so we can check some ownerships too.
Yeah. Yeah, may as well.
I literally don't know who I have, so this is good news. So let's go into State Kings. And what am I playing here? I'm definitely going to put up golf, but no, I won't do that right now. Yeah, so they don't have the signature hole. They have like the 300 or something, right?
Yeah, I kind of like it. I just could play a couple more entries. It's a high variance tournament.
I'm doing that also. Let's see, LU. Let's see if I can find that. My previous. I'm not even going to post in the Discord. Let them figure out what that 7:30. We'll challenge them.
I'm just warning people still playing NBA, which the tournaments are going to start getting smaller after tomorrow. But I'm telling you for sure that you're going to see a lot of players scratched after lock. We saw it yesterday. We're going to keep seeing it again.
It's been happening all year, though.
I feel like it's happening, but I mean, I feel like every day it's happening, and it's usually not after. I mean, I'm talking about like after the game starts, not after the first lock. I mean, after their actual game starts. It'll say so and so is not starting like 2 minutes at 8:02 for an 8 o'clock game. And then it'll be like, oh no, he's out in like 10 minutes later.
Let's post the shot, which is what? It's $5.55 times 15, whatever that equals.
That's a tough one.
I'm rounding
for my brain here.
I'm rounding. And then today, shot 30. And then package FanDuel Monster.
Good luck to you, AJ. Good luck to everybody. And we're still doing this, but I'm just reading the chat here.
Okay, we're going to check ownerships in a few. May as well put up the hockey. Why not? HL Blue Line. So who do you think got jammed here? I bet you nobody. How about that?
Nobody?
That's going to be my suggestion, is that nobody really got jammed.
We'll see. I think Doughton will be like 80%. Like not 80, but he'll be like 60 something.
7:30. And then the energy line.
Okay, I'll do the hockey, the golf later. So okay. So who do you say? So your top old guys are Minwoo Lee and Scheffler.
Yeah, I took a gamble with Minwoo. I like Dietrich a lot. He's the other one I really like. Not very high ownership.
Okay.
AJ saying he likes Lee Hodges. Okay, Lee Hodges I can get behind.
We are in lock. Let's see.
They're not showing the ownerships yet, but
not yet. They'll be up in a second. Let's see who do you have? You have who do you have in the alley-oop in the early game?
Oh my God, Doughton's only 22% owned. Doughton and Edwards.
I do not have him in the big mile.
I have him in. I've played 2 in the alley-oop, and he's in both of mine. Grimes is 20%. Vukcevic is 27%. Saar is 19%.
I have 61 lineups total. I have 4 with Jeff Dowden.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Somebody's got to win.
Somebody's got to win. And the only guy, pretty funny, the only guy from the early game I have is Vukcevic. Thank you.
Yeah. And did I, yeah, right. Did I get to any Marcus Bagley? No, I did not.
Marcus, who is that?
He's another Bagley who plays for Philly. I got another guy I know very, very little about.
So right now, I'll tell you my highest known guys. Oh, I do have 50% of Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards. Okay, yeah.
In the early game, and I do have 44% of Saar.
Okay.
38% of Vukcevic. So far, I mean, right now, my highest known guy is Kevin Porter Jr. And then Kuzma. So we're just gonna have to see.
And for the late swappers, keep an eye out because remember what I said about Watford. Now Clowney is starting, so now Watford might be the play at lower round.
Now Watford might be at power forward eligible too.
Yep.
Okay, that's interesting. That starts at 9, like 2 hours from now.
No, that's it. That game is that's in 25 minutes. 29 minutes, 20 minutes.
That.
So.
But we'll have like 20 minutes to work, to at least garner some information on the first game, maybe.
Yeah, well, it'll be very little, but yeah, something. All right, man. Well, I think I'm going to bounce out of here.
Sounds good. I will. Yeah. So I guess I won't see you tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll have fun at the Sweet 16. That's awesome.
Yeah, and sometime between now and the end of the week, we'll talk about our other phone call that we had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will talk to you later.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Have a good night.